Great. No. Well, for a moment there, I was practicing my swamp jelly calls when I saw you passing by. It takes just the right amount of saliva to get their tenor. I'll have to work up another mouthful, but there'll be time for that now that you're here. You can help make my sap dreams a reality. Everyone knows the comfort of being lulled to sleep by the bubbling bog and croaking of frogs, but there's so much more to the music of the swamp. We just need to assemble a quartet of swamp jellies. I borrowed a frog net from my friend in Lilmoth. I'm certain it'll work for catching swamp jellies as well. There are 4 varieties of jellies around here, so one of each color should do. I'll wait here and concentrate on appetizing thoughts. Never seen a swamp jelly? You poor thing. They're wonderful little creatures that float on the wind like feathered seeds that sing, but made of slippery goop. This is why I need you to gather them. People need to see the natural beauty of Murkmire. They like to catch the sea breeze blowing through the marsh to the south along the coast. I'm sure you'll have no trouble if you follow their adorable little calls. The most talkative ones tend to be brightly colored. No, they couldn't hurt a fly. Well, flies are mostly what they eat, but they're perfectly docile, maybe even a little skittish. Just scoop them into the net as gently as you can, and try not to lose the net. I'd never hear the end of it.
Our offerings Oh, whatever shall we do? Oh. The Hist has awakened from its long slumber, and Root Whisper Village lives once more. Many have traveled to join us, and many more will come. But this is both blessing and curse, for as our numbers grow, our supplies dwindle. It is customary for tribes to send offerings of aid to a newly formed village. Several of these offerings were recently collected by one of our envoys. Unfortunately, the envoy was attacked by blackguards before she could return. Though our envoy escaped, all of her possessions were taken by the blackguards. If we fail to retrieve them, we risk disrespecting the very tribes who have already offered their help. Will you aid us, Root Mender? I had no doubt you would accept this task, Root Mender. Still, I wish to thank you all the same. When a new tribe is formed, it is customary for nearby villages to make offerings of aid. Our envoy was able to collect such offerings from the Brightthroat tribe, the Deadwater tribe, and the town of Littlemoth. A seed doll, representing an invitation for our tribe to join their bonding ritual. The Brightthroats use their bonding ritual in order to ensure a peaceful relationship with their neighboring tribes. It is a great honor to be accepted. A hunting bow, symbolizing an offer of protection. The Deadwater tribe is filled with great warriors. With so many dangers surrounding our tribe, we cannot afford to lose such needed aid. Though Littlemoth may be without a Hist, they are still sympathetic to our plight. The town has gifted us a wooden bowl, symbolizing the offer of food for our table. This offer may be the most important of all, for our food stocks run dangerously low.
I must train the warriors of Root Whisper Village to fight as one. We will be of one heart, one mind. When we strike against the enemies, we shall strike together.
I have heard many speak of the village's defensive strength due to the stone which surrounds us. This will be useful as our warriors are only now learning to fight alongside one another.
you have to understand. Some of the imagery you presented...
Words have always been. Blood splayed across their snout, and their nostrils filled with the scent of despair. Yet you speak of rubies and courage. My tail whips from side to side, and yet you wish to speak? Speak then. This bard asked to sing the tales of my people. Though my eyes narrowed, I allowed such a thing. But now she has changed the words. The words must be the steady beat of a hunting drum, not flowers to be enjoyed. She says our tales are too plainly spoken, and so the bard turns blood to rubies. How can she speak my people's stories when her own tongue is coated in such honey? I will not let her twist our words to suit the palate of her own people. Very well. If she sings only for her people, I will allow the bard's flower words. Besides, if outsiders hear the tales as we speak them, their soft bellies will grow sick. Perhaps it is best that these songs be drenched in sweet waters. Very well.
My gratitude, O traveler. I thought...
Adjust our stories. I see now that your spineless audience will never swallow the truth of our words. I will tell this bard our drumbeat words, and watch in silence as she turns them into her flower songs. But such a thing, I will not enjoy.
My gratitude, O traveler. I thought he would never agree to my changes. Now I can present the story of Murkmire to my people in a way all will enjoy. And have no fear, I will always respect the heart of these stories.
Vrilith Kona Haj Fokuta, Shapna Raja Kor Sesuna, Bokdal Rilsi Sin Totake, Salhis Abo Vaknanake. Zulvat Selnin Va Atoti.
What hope have I? What song have I? A grave stake I have not. It was taken by pale hands away into the swamp. It is lost, just like my egg brother's honorable end. The breeze brings a traveler, a newfound hope. You hold the grave stake of Tunzi, an elder most kind and now departed. But oh, how can I complete my journey? My injury hinders, and the road is long. There is a glade within the swamp, where Tunzi first set eyes upon his beloved. It was there that he wished the grave stake to be placed. As grave singer, I must grant this wish. But perhaps you would be willing to help. I beg your help in this matter, most grave. Will you set right what another so cruelly made wrong? A glade within the swamp, where a first love was formed. A tree it once had, but now it does not. It is gone, just as Tunzi is now gone. A fitting place for his memory to rest. Tunzi possessed a kind heart and soft word for all. The Moss Skin tribe mourned deeply when he left us. He would often travel to the Brightthroat village to take place in the bonding ritual. It was during this time that he met his beloved. A dry skin visited our peaceful village. I knew there was greed in his heart, but took little heed. The Zanmir hold many useless trinkets that we Zaxliel care little for. But when he fled with the grave stake, I had no choice but to give chase. Yes, though not by the thief's pale hand. Journeying through the darkened swamp, I did not realize a hackwing stalked me. In my haste to escape, I twisted my ankle upon an upturned root. It is because of this that I ask you to fulfill my duty. They are memorials of lifetimes past. As the years progress, we carve our story upon the wood. Our triumphs and fears, our laughter and follies, all must be remembered. As grave singer, it is my sworn duty to protect these memories. Like a battle cry I lead, like a lullaby I soothe, like a funeral dirge I mourn. My song guides the souls of our departed back to the loving embrace of the Hist. It is also I who ensures the burial rites of my tribe. Yes, as grave singer, I must ensure this final burial rite is enacted. That is why I traveled to this village, despite my injury. To fail in this task is to disgrace the memory of Tunzi.
Talil Vakazwasik Halil Zuzut Vakota Vin Totik Nikodi Lil Evok Vahat Suizalil Buzit Puta Drodzelil Naga Kajun Kornakal Vaste Hizal Bikomal. Nalpa Ajum Tuntalil Vakazwasik Halil
Verona made it back safely, and Drula too. Thanks for going into the swamp to find them. I really appreciate your help. In the meantime, I'm going to pamper my wife and help her forget her ordeal. Nothing but the best for Verona. Complete our vacation, of course. But no more wandering around on our own. I'm not letting Verona out of my sight for the rest of this trip. Then it's back to Vivec City. Those cantons aren't going to finish building themselves, you know.
Shiralos has been much more attentive since we got back. I think she even missed Drula, if you can believe that. I may have to get lost more often. I do so love the way she dotes upon me. Anyway, thanks again.
This used to be a place that only the tribes knew. I suppose those days are gone. I hope this is not a well-trod path. This quiet muck should stay undisturbed, save for the tenders. When the refuge sees visitors, calamity is not far behind. A secret place. A safe place. What you can see is only the surface. Below the cloudy waters, far, far below, is a place where all our tribes take shelter when Sithis seeks to reshape Murkmire. Invasion, disaster, nothing follows us into the mud. For now. Every season, the tribes send tenders to keep the refuge prepared for when the great changes come. No one ventures here without a need. When the trouble follows, the refuge will be ready.
Tending above the water is not so hard. Clip the vines, clear the path of moss. But below the surface, the struggle against the muck is endless. A season of that is reminder enough of why dusk fell.
You drink this so I can see.
Does this look like a rash to you?
My contact in Lumaf tells me the haul will be huge.
I need more vials. Get me more vials.
Easy there. That elixir is potent.
off, Vince.
Who's
You
been
are
in
a
my
good
jaws and
polish
varnished
my
again?
scales.
We need a big score.
I find
Been too
hunting
long.
prey to be extremely therapeutic.
I bet I could sell this extract to the merchants in Lilmo.
And we hit them hard.
What's going on?
You play Fibber's dice like my egg mother, and she died 3 seasons ago.
I made it myself.
If I hear Famia's name one more time.
If pillaging isn't profitable, I bet I could sell this extract to the merchants in Lilmo.
It was another one of Famia's crew. There.
Another ship full of tourists.
I'll take that.
There goes
Long
the
as it's
news out.
fair and square.
Sometimes a day in the swamp just goes.
The elixir is potent.
Tighter the bowstring after that last raid.
Or I'll hold back my support next time. So many thieves and cutthroats. My kind of people.
Stand back. The next
I'll
raid
take
turns
care
up
of
some
this.
sweet slime cake.
Touch my stuff. I break your
I
hand.
heard that the Deadwater lost another batch of hatchlings. It would be sad if it...
bottles again.
The creepy moss gathers all rocks.
Which merchant wagon are we targeting this time?
Napa ajuntum talil bata. Lakrota bindi.
The winds have brought you back to me. Is your task complete? A tree once stood within that glade. Under its leaves, Tunzi first saw his beloved. It does not surprise me that such a powerful memory would give itself shape. Here, a reward for your kind actions. Travel in peace, friend of the moss skins. May your path be peaceful and your days sun-blessed. The Brightthroats are most kind, but my tribe needs me. I'll leave as soon as I'm healed. For now, I shall look after the moss skins attending the bonding ritual, though I doubt my services as Gravesinger will be needed. May your path be peaceful and your days sun-blessed. I'm afraid I cannot. Perhaps the Hist grew the tree to honor his memory, or perhaps it grew from the sorrow of our tribe, who still miss him greatly. Perhaps Tunzi's spirit resided within that gravestake, creating the tree once his last wish was granted. Precisely. I cannot tell you of a sight unseen. However, I do believe it is connected to Tunzi and his memories of that place. He would often tell the story of first seeing his beloved under the leaves of a tree.
Forever.
I am relieved to see you in good health, Root Mender. Were you able to complete your task? Ah, may the Hist forever guide you, Root Mender. I feared the repercussions should the other tribes learn of this loss. Now I have no reason to fear. You have done much for our village. I give you this reward, as well as my gratitude.
You have my quartet. Wonderful. My throat is all warmed up. It's time. You can be the first to see the show. Prepare to be amazed. All right, my dears, places. And 1, and 2. Oh, over here. No. There we go. Finale. Big flourish. So, what did you think? Like nothing you've ever seen, I'll bet. It brings you right to the heart of the hist. It really captures the smell of sap on the wind and the feel of murk gas under your feet, right? Oh, well, I guess it did have a sort of boggy quality. I bet that would sound delightful in a lower key. Maybe I could score a show. It came to me in a dream while napping under a hist. I could hear everything in the swamp, all at once, and yet one at a time. I was entranced by the calls of swamp jellies blending together into a cheerful little song, and I knew what I had to do. Pico friend, over here. Will you speak with me? Dry Skin. Didn't I see you talking with the explorers from Cyrodiilic Collections? Are you one of them? Would you be willing to help me with a crucial and sacred task? I have suffered shame for the actions of my ancestor. When the Imperial Ninth Legion marched into Murkmire, my distant relative agreed to serve as their scout. And ever since my egg family has carried the mark of traitors, I want to erase that mark. After my egg relative joined them, the Legion vanished. At long last, I believe I know where they disappeared to. Sofia Cavern. However, the cavern is rumored to be the home of the Wujuka. I can't face that monster on my own. Will you go with me? My egg siblings only care about the here and now. But I always believed that history was the key to exonerating our disgraced ancestor. I know we'll find something in the cavern. I just know it. As long as the Wujuka doesn't object to our presence. There have always been dark legends surrounding the Sofia Caverns, stories about a monster called the Wujuka. It is some sort of powerful voroplasm, a massive pool of malignant slime that was said to periodically emerge and cause untold damage. Evidence that the Ninth Legion visited the cavern before it disappeared. Maybe even signs that the Imperials entered Sofia and never emerged. If we could locate something that explains why my ancestor agreed to help them, that would be moist. The Sofia Caverns were sealed by a rock slide in the distant past. Recent tremors, however, have opened a path into the caves. I also learned that tribal elders once performed rituals to bind the Wujuka inside. But that was a long time ago. Gin Rajul was a renowned scout, well respected before the Imperials convinced him to help them. I'm certain they must have forced him, threatened him in some way. No spawn of our eggs could have been a traitor, and with your help, I'll prove it. Many seasons ago, when the Imperials first sent troops to our beloved swamps, the Ninth Legion terrorized the region. It marched from one end of Murkmire to the other, inflicting death and destruction along the way. Then they simply vanished. I've gathered every song and story I could find that even mentioned the Lost Legion. After many seasons of travel and study, an obscure line in a ballad sung by an elder of the Girusliel tribe led me to Sofia. My burden lightens with every step. That proves it. My ancestor and the Ninth Legion did visit this cave. Let's keep looking around. And to think no one has seen this place in more than 100 seasons. see that. This is a 9th Legion officer's journal. It mentions my ancestor, Yin Rajul, and how the Legionnaires started disappearing. It had to be the Wujuka. It must have devoured the Imperials. Another note. What happened to the Legion becomes clearer and clearer. Another note. It talks about the altar where the elders prepared the ritual to bind the Wujuka. I think my ancestor led the Imperials into this cavern and fed them to the Wujuka. He saved our tribe, but made the Voraplasm more powerful. From what we learned, my ancestor only pretended to help the Legion. He led them here to save Murkmire. When the Legionnaires sealed the cave, they interrupted the cycle. No one has come to bind the Wujuka in centuries. I guess it's up to us. I will prepare the dagger and the sacred altar, according to the stories the elders told me. In the meantime, I need you to weaken the Wujuka. Only then can we perform the ritual. The Wujuka is a massive pool of voroplasm that interacts with the world through extensions of itself. The smaller voroplasms that prowl these caverns are all just part of a greater whole. According to the stories, the Wujuka creates an extension of itself to guard the pool. Find this large voroplasm guardian and destroy it. That should weaken the Wujuka and make it more susceptible to the binding ritual. The Wujuka isn't like other voroplasms. It has an intelligence and a hunger different from the simple creatures seen in the swamp. Once it emerges from the cavern, it will spread and consume all of Murkmire. We can't allow that to happen. Majai Wija Bikakai. Quickly now, ignite the brazier. The rite of binding is complete. Meet me outside and we can talk. The journal and letters we found prove that the Lost Legion met its doom in Sofia Cavern. They also reveal that my ancestor led them there in order to protect Murkmire. And more importantly, we used the rite of binding to trap the Wujuka. For seasons and seasons, my friend. And I shall inform the elders of the nearest tribes. They will once again take up the responsibility of maintaining the ritual. I couldn't have accomplished any of these things without your help. Thank you. I do. He knew the tribes weren't strong enough to oppose the Ninth Legion. So he sacrificed his own life to lead them to the Wujuka. I feel very proud to be part of his egg family, my friend. Not only will this evidence restore the honor of my egg family, our actions have helped save all of Murkmire. And I couldn't have done any of this without you. Please, accept this small gift as a token of my appreciation. I can't wait to tell my egg siblings all about our ancestor. They're going to be so proud. The binding will hold for a while. In the meantime, I'll talk to the elders of the nearby tribes and make sure they restore the traditions of the past. As long as the elders periodically perform the rite of binding, the Wujuka will remain contained. Oh, most assuredly. I might even talk to Cyrodiilic collections. Since my people have little use for history, maybe the outsiders can teach me a few things. Anyway, may the rivers always flow in your direction, my friend. I can't wait to tell my egg siblings all about our ancestor. They're going to be so proud.
Yes? can I help you? Anything I can do for you?
This work isn't going to do it.
How can I help you?
Get back! You will not! You are not one of her thralls. No, you do not smell like them. Quickly, you must help me. I only barely escaped her clutches, but my root sisters and brothers were not so lucky. Every moment we delay will be measured in innocent blood. Shulzotse devours the sun, High Priestess of the Teeth. She has many names, all of them spoken softly. She has returned from dusk to reclaim her temple, and we are the offering she makes for Sithis' favor. Yes, what blood she does not drink is spilled on the altars of the temple. For what purpose, I do not know. But many have died for the sake of her terrible rituals. Shulzotse must be stopped. The priestess holds them in the teeth of Sithis. Use the tunnel beneath the waterfall to reach the Zanmirs on the ridge above. We will regroup at the top of the western Zanmir once you've found the others. I only know that we were kept in the chambers beneath the twin Zanmirs. If anyone is still alive, that's where they will be found. Be cautious. They will be guarded by those Shulzotse has enthralled. They overwhelmed us with ease. We were custodians of the teeth of Sithis. Though it does not serve the same purpose it was built for, it is no less sacred. When the pitiful souls under the High Priestess's sway came to defile it, we resisted them, but her power was too much. A wonder from before dusk, built high to cast Sithis' long shadow over the land. A reminder that Sithis is always looming, waiting to return us to nothingness. The old ways were flawed. Many saw Sithis as destroyer, but not as creator. The old ways sought to appease Sithis, so it might spare us from destruction. In our ignorance, we struggled against its will like the muck we built upon until we neared collapse. It would have swallowed us if the Hist hadn't shared their wisdom. That Sithis is not only destruction, Sithis is change. Sithis tears down the old so that the new can grow. So we learn to flow with the river instead of struggle to alter its course. These are better times, but Shulzotse cannot see that. Her way is the old way, from before the fall. We were less mindful of the cycle of change and gave only to the void. When the Hist revealed the true path to us, she chose to break the branch of her bond rather than turn back, or so the story goes. It is. The tale of Shulzotse's betrayal and fall is a reminder not to stray from the guiding boughs of the Hist. I thought the lesson was embellished for effect, but it seems the only exaggeration was her demise. The story said she was cast down and entombed far from the roots of the Hist, never to return. But every spine on my body tells me the twisted creature that bathes in the blood of my fellows is Shulzotse.
Greetings. Let's do some business. May I be of service?
You come to drain the sap from me again, but I have little left to offer your master. When the last of us are bled dry, it will be you who quenches her endless thirst. It does not matter. We are too entangled in the rotting roots of our past to flee from it. They have spread far and wide, unnoticed beneath the surface, and now that they have broken into the light, it is too late. So what would you have me do?
Can't get enough of this fine vintage, huh? Well, you're cut off. Come any closer and I'll bash your fangs in. You got out? Slippery skink, that one. Well, what are you waiting for? Set me loose, so I can give these bloodsuckers a good thunk right in their pointy teeth.
I am grateful the Hist has guided you all to me, but is this everyone you were able to find? So far, yes. I found nothing in the eastern Zonmir but the priestess's thralls and the reek of mingling blood. Whoever was there has already been taken to bleed on the temple's teeth, or her own. She will find others. Before the fall, Shuzaltse drenched the teeth of Sithis with sacrificial blood from dawn to dusk. As the thing she has become, her need is greater now, and so is her power. I can feel it coursing through this temple. Like the blood spilled here begins to pulse through dead stone. The beating of this temple's heart is slow, but it echoes through the void. She is calling to Sithis. We cannot let her be heard. I fear what Shuzaltse has begun may not be undone by her death alone. We must stop her ritual and forever silence this temple to the old ways. Destroy the altars. Only then can we be certain the High Priestess will not get what she wants. Some may be faithful to her as a priestess of Sithis, but I think most fell victim to her power. After the Black Rose riots destroyed the prison, there would have been no shortage of outlaws wandering the swamps for her to prey upon. The Rose was built upon ruins. Built upon ruins. Built upon ruins. The Hist only knows what was buried beneath. But if anything was to stir Shuzaltse from her grave, the bloodshed of the prison riots would be it. But we have more dire concerns. They have stood too long already. They stand for a Sithis that is no longer, or never was. It seeks change. Whether that change is good for us, is for it to decide. Shuzaltse was not cast down for simply clinging to the old ways. She forsook this world. Her prayers of appeasement became invitations for destruction. I believe she has returned to finish what she started when the tribes rose up to stop her. To cast this world into darkness. To see the Hist wither and die. To sow destruction until the great serpent returns us all to the void. Shuzaltse returned from beyond the grip of death for this purpose. Who knows what is within her power?
This all of us? No matter. Just more vampy faces for me to bash in. Soon as my head stops spinning. Not all of them. Some are just slack-jawed, toadied bloodbags. The ugly, scale-faced leech that's been bleeding us, though, has to be a vampire. Maybe worse. Most vampires you hear about only have two fangs. But that High Priestess of the Teeth's got a mouth like a bear trap. I'll give her something to chew on next time I see her. Soon as I can lift it, you'll see. What do you mean? Am I one of the custodians? Of course I am. Oh, I get what you're driving at. Don't look scaly enough for the part. That's it, isn't it? That's just being close-minded. I've half a mind to bash you for that. But Zod says I'll be happier when I stop fighting my problems. They've been good to me since I got here. Run out of Valenwood. Got all these rules in the Dominion, especially against bashing stuff. Even when you're mad. Drifted around until I bashed some knot-faced prowler skulking in my room. Roundabout, here. Started getting strange letters from some warped plank who signs letters by dipping their hand in ink. Dim, yeah? It's all Sithis this, Sithis that. Can't get away from it. Finally, I come out here. No letters. Coincidence?
Are we all that remains? This world is doomed. Shuk-Saltse soaks the teeth of Sithis in blood to stoke the Great Serpent's appetite. She is inviting it to take its first bite, the beginning of the end. It will sink its fangs deep and swallow all creation. Only if Sithis desires it.
Yes?
Give him a good bash ourselves?
I would rather gather support in Lilmoth. Get some rest. Maybe a warm meal.
I bet Scythians would want a bash.
Right now, I am strongly considering it. The temple seems quieter, and the spines of fear and dread lie flat again. It is done, isn't it? Then the last remnants of the old ways have finally been shed, and the story of Shuzaltse ends, as it was always meant to, with a new beginning. We are grateful for your help. The Hist were wise to guide you to us. Shuzaltse fought against tides of change longer than we can know. But in the end, the old always gives way to the new. May she finally find peace in the void. Though dead, the husk of the old ways still hangs over our temple. We three will go to Lilmoth and beseech the tribes to help Sithis cast off these remnants. If their warriors scour our temple clean, we will return. Then we were not meant to be there, and we will take our teachings elsewhere, another lesson wiser. May your struggles crumble.
taking longer than I planned.
Have you come with the crumbling stones of our folly? Precisely. These ruins represent old foolhardy beliefs. Our people thought to be stone, immovable, unchangeable. They shielded themselves from the gift of Sithis. Only from the blindness of the past can I make a vision for the present. No, far more than art, an offering. Once we feared that which Sithis whispered. Now our tongue shall speak the words. Quickly, grab a hammer from the storehouse. Quickly then, go collect that which is needed.
Work builds character, they say.
There's always more to do.
You've returned. Now it is time to destroy that which has been created. Quickly, smash the monument with your hammer. How glorious! The chaos, the destruction. We have truly honored Sithis this day. Of course, I may be a priest, but I expect no charity. Besides, you've done splendidly. We have created what wasn't and destroyed what was. Thus is the will of change. Thus is the will of Sithis. Have you any other questions for me? I am honor-bound to answer all who wish to learn of Sithis. I belong to the Clutch of Nisswo, a fellowship of sorts. In the dry-skinned tongue, we would be called nothing speakers, for we speak the words of that which is void, though we do not all speak the same words, of course. Why would we? Sithis is a being of multitude. It is the will of change, the force of chaos, the lust for bloodshed. Its words are many, and so the Nisswo are many. But we all speak parts of the larger truth. Perhaps an example will help. I honor Sithis through my art. I see the something within the nothing, and create it. Through my actions, a lesson is learned. My mentor had a different approach. She would require offerings of blood. The greater the offering, the greater the honor. Some would sacrifice a scale or a fang, freshly plucked and bloodied. Others would offer fingers or the tips of their tails. One follower offered his heart. He died, of course. One must simply be accepted as a Vovaste, an apprentice in the dry-skin tongue. I journeyed with my mentor for many seasons before she bestowed the title of Nisswo upon me. Then I journeyed alone, spreading the dark word to many tribes. I speak but one truth. Through many seasons, this village will hear many words. It is from these many words that they will create their own truth. And though these truths will be different, they will all be, in the end, true. The Saxhleel do not require ease in our beliefs. We do not write words upon a page and request our followers to speak its unmoving words. Belief should be questioned, doubted, judged, and finally accepted. Only then is it truth. Tell me this. What is painted upon a blank canvas? Precisely! And it is only because of that nothing that something can be made. First there is nothing, then there is something. Thus is the will of all things. Thus is the will of Sithis. Sithis is the nothing between the something, the void which created all and will one day destroy it. The will of change, the inconstant which is our only constant. My art honors this will. I destroy what was and create what will be.